Buy with confidence. It's the Triple J Advantage. 1 year maintenance, 1 year tire and rim protection, key replacement, and $700 coupon book with every new vehicle purchase. Only at Triple J. Customers first.
Hi everybody, I'm Sabrina Salas Matanane. Welcome to another episode of Cruising with KUAM. I'm here at Triple J picking up a 2018 Kia Cadenza. We're on our way to pick up Larry the Bone Collector Williams, who was recently on Guam for an anti-bullying campaign as well as an anti-drug campaign and for a youth basketball clinic. Let's go.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for taking time to do this interview.
Oh, no problem. I would love to.
All right, so you were born in Texas, right?
Yep, I was born in Tyler, Texas, and raised in Pasadena, California.
So what made you, how did you get to California?
My parents moved to California when I was in the first grade, and I believe they moved, they just wanted to change the pace.
I see.
Yeah.
But do you ever get back to, you have family in Texas?
My entire family lives in Texas. So every so often I go out there, but I'm always traveling and touring, so it's hard.
Right. So tell me about your life in basketball and how this all came to be. You being this world famous street ball legend.
My career started at Rucker Park in New York.
Right.
As far as my the name Bone Collector. It started off with just me going to the games and making people fall. A couple guys, you know, hit their fingers on the ground, broke a finger. Paramedics would come and take them out of there. And then, you know, every day something new would happen with an injury. And so the guy on the mic was like, "Man, I got a good name for you." A good friend of mine, he said, "Your name should be the Bone Collector." And that name's been with me ever since. And I started my basketball career, playing basketball when I was 5. My dad took me out and let me work on my skills. And funny story is I never beat my father until I was 18 years old.
Wow.
And it's been a blessing ever since.
Is your dad, is he a professional or is he also into street ball?
He does play street ball, but he's not a professional. But you know, he's passionate about the game. He's 65, he still plays, and he's my motivation to keep going.
So how excited is he for you and how proud your parents must be?
Oh, the love from your parents can't be duplicated. So when they tell me they're proud of me and what I'm doing, it gives me this butterfly kind of feeling inside, because I know I'm proving to them every day, every time I come out, that I'm, you know, showing how much I've learned from the things that they both taught me. My mom played too, by the way. My mom played basketball too, and she still plays. Wow.
In California? Nice. You have children?
Yep, I got 2 boys, one 11 and one is 2 years old.
They play?
My oldest son plays in New York. He's one of the top guards in New York. His name is Tyler Williams. And my baby, he's not ready. He plays though, but he's just a little baby. He's 2.
Right. Does your son know, about your fame?
Well, of course he does now, because I have the NBA 2K put a badge on the game called the Bone Collector badge, and I think that's when it probably hit him that, man, my dad is everybody really knows my dad. And then I went to his school to pick him up one day, and he looked a little uncomfortable, or it was awkward for him to see all the kids want to take pictures with me and so on and so forth. So he embraces it well. You know, I teach him well. I try to teach him to have a strong relationship with God, so he knows that just because people, admire what I do, it doesn't separate me from them. So he gets a good understanding of who to be and how to be, and I try to teach him that.
Well, speaking of religion, I noticed on your Instagram page, you do post a lot of inspirational messages about faith. Have you always been close to God growing up?
I actually, in the back of my head, I always felt like I was, sometimes you can speak to yourself and you can say, and when you make mistakes and you say, man, I shouldn't have did that, this, that, and the third. I felt like it was always there, but I didn't have a strong relationship with God until after I had some run-ins and some bad times where I was incarcerated. And after I got out, my relationship with God just sprouted. And I believe that God gave me the opportunity to do this because I did give my life, and I truly believe that Jesus Christ is my Savior. So I try to push that agenda on all the kids that I meet, because you know, it's a tough situation when you're in a world full of distractions, and I just don't feel comfortable with making up my own rules anymore. You know, when you make up your own rules, you can break your own rules. And you know, my motivation doesn't come from me. God gives me the strength to do it all. And I've been doing this for almost 20 years. And so I have to pay homage to that. And so that spiritual side of my life is the biggest part. Basketball is my platform. The spiritual side is what I will have to feed the kids and my followers with. So it's been a huge experience for me. And yeah, it was great. It's been great.
Buy with confidence is the Triple J Advantage. 1 year maintenance, 1 year tire and rim protection, key replacement, and $700 coupon book with every new vehicle purchase. Only at Triple J, customers first. Buy with confidence is the Triple J Advantage. 1 year maintenance, 1 year tire and rim protection, key replacement, and $700 coupon book with every new vehicle purchase. Only at Triple J, customers first.
I was at the clinic on this past week, or Saturday. Last week, but yeah, I was at the clinic Saturday, and I got to see the very end, and you were giving a speech to the children about faith and about drugs. What's the main message that you hope to have them walk away from?
The main message is for the kids, especially when they come to support a camp like I have, is you don't have to grow up and be somebody. You were born somebody. You know, in the eyes of God, we're all His children. And you know, when I give an inspirational speech, it's all testimony from the things I've been through. And I want people to gain from this is drugs and bullying and those things. I'm so against that stuff. Growing up in LA, you see a lot of gang violence and drug use. And a beautiful island like Guam, you know, if they can get an ambassador to kind of motivate them and give them something to see that's positive, then why not? And I'm here for that. I love Guam, the Hyatt Regency. Their hospitality, just the people here, the Guamanian people here. They inspire me to be a better person. So I believe that my mission statement at the end of the day is always put God first. And you know, you can be an inspiration to others if you're willing to put the work in. So I want the kids to understand they can sharpen each other, make each other better, smarter, wiser, according to the way that they react to those situations. For instance, if you see one of your good friends that is on drugs or that is bullying, if you're spiritually strong enough, you can find a way to reach them. And sometimes it may not hit at that moment, but as long as you continue to do positive things and push on that positive note, it'll sink in eventually. And that's how it happened for me. You know, my life, I grew up around gangs and in gangs. So once my father used to push the agenda of being a good person, being focused, staying aware, and it changed my life. So that's what I'm trying to do here.
If you could just share, I guess, one of the stories, because I know also on one of the messages I saw you coming to Guam, you were talking about, you know, stories that you were going to share with the kids. So if you could tell me one of those stories that you plan on sharing.
All right. So there's a story that is really near and dear to my heart. I had a real good friend of mine. I've known him my whole life. You know, we grew up together. He was in my high school, and we were just bad kids at the time. We were bad. We were doing things that were not necessary, and so we're sitting in a car just like me and you are, and everything was fine, and we were actually selling narcotics at the time. And so the whole time he was saying, oh man, this is not the life for us. This is not what we should be doing. And I felt it. I said, man, we had been doing it for a couple of years already, and the money was good, but we weren't spiritually strong, and we felt that. You can feel when something's wrong, and we knew it. So we made a decision at that moment and to just leave it alone. And you know, we both mentally and spiritually and physically agreed, like, hey man, we're done. And soon as we finished saying that to each other, someone knocked on the window and asked him, did he have any more narcotics? He reached under his seat. As soon as he reached under his seat, they blew his brains out right all over me. And it was like a shock, because it's like if I took water and threw it on you.
Yeah.
And because he was my good friend, I was shocked because I could see inside of his head, and it like damaged me, and I was only 14 at the time, so it like shocked me into, I didn't cry. I just stood there. I froze up. People were running around screaming. They called the paramedics. My brothers came and got me, asked me was I okay, and I was just shocked to see that my friend had been shot in the head right in front of me because we chose to live the life of drug dealers and bad people. And from that moment, I knew something was wrong with being negative. Doing negative things has negative results. So, that story shook me up at the roots. It shook me. It changed me. And hopefully me telling you this story, and when the kids see this, hopefully it can change you. Hopefully it can let you know that the Bone Collector's legacy doesn't start with just me playing basketball. I had to recondition my mind in order to work on my spirit, to be good enough and smart enough to come out and push the agenda that I need to push. So those things, and there's so many more stories, but that is one that really stood out to me because, witnessing something like that, from on the outside, on the surface, seems monumental. It seems shocking. It shocked you. And so imagine how I felt. So instead of putting yourself in positions to be, in those negative environments, I choose to completely go the opposite way. And that's why I'm here today.
Buy with confidence is the Triple J Advantage. 1 year maintenance, 1 year tire and rim protection, key replacement, and $700 coupon book with every new vehicle purchase. Only at Triple J, customers first. Buy with confidence is the Triple J Advantage. 1 year maintenance, 1 year tire and rim protection, key replacement, and $700 coupon book with every new vehicle purchase. Only at Triple J, customers first.
You've traveled all over the world. Has there ever been a child that I guess has impacted you, the child that you may have met?
To be honest, all the kids impact me. Like the kids out here in Guam. When I got to the camp, they were confused as whether I would be distant because they quote unquote know that I am internationally known, so they didn't know if I would be distant. But I embraced them immediately. I got right into it with them. I let them know we're family. I got them out of their comfort zone. I did some things that let them know that, hey, at the end of the day, he's just a regular person.
I saw you were carrying one of the kids.
Yeah, he got hit in the head. I was carrying him because I'm a father, so when I see these babies get hit, it's my instinct. It takes over. And that, the parents said some things to me since I've been here that really, really, really warmed my heart. And they embraced me. They told me that this is basically my second home if I wanted to be. And I definitely do want to come out here as an ambassador for Guam.
So part of your time here, you're not only you not only held the clinic and the shootout and the dunk contest, you're also going out and visiting with students, right?
Yes, I'm visiting students. I went to a few different local parks, and I actually posted a video on my page today that showed all the fun I was having, and it's just it's unbelievable, man, to come to a beautiful island like this and to see that these people are super supportive of what I'm doing. It makes me want to give back to them. I'm going to come back and do my best to get more professional athletes to come join me in this endeavor out here in Guam.
John 3:16, is that something I saw it? Why did you post it? Why that particular Bible verse? That particular verse means the world to me because I think that if you can understand and embrace your relationship with Jesus, it gives you a better perspective, because we are all going to make mistakes in life. Everyone does. And it says in the Bible that only Jesus Christ lived his life free from sin. So being that is the pillar of excellence, what better way to embrace that than to hear his Father tell us that he gave his only son in sacrifice for us. So it's only right that we live our lives for him. So that's why I use that verse, so you people know that
life is about sacrifice. Life is not about being personal. It's not about bone collector all the time. It's embracing this conversation with you. I feel great just being able to do this. And thankful that you want to interview me and speak and get involved in my life. So I never get too high or too low when I listen to things like John 3:16, because it lets me know that there's someone that I can look up to that puts me in a better perspective, that lets me see what I shouldn't do. Following the 10 Commandments is not easy, but for me, if you practice something long enough, you'll be good at it. And like I've been practicing breaking ankles, now I'm practicing loving Jesus.
Buy with confidence is the Triple J Advantage. 1-year maintenance, 1-year tire and rim protection, key replacement, and $700 coupon book with every new vehicle purchase. Only at Triple J, customers first. Buy with confidence is the Triple J Advantage. 1-year maintenance, 1-year tire and rim protection, key replacement, and $700 coupon book with every new vehicle purchase. Only at Triple J, customers first.
I read somewhere about Allen Iverson and how either you called him out and he just didn't want to play against you. Has there been somebody that's been a really tough opponent for you, or have you just smoked everybody that you've gone up against?
No, man, to be honest, I don't, the arrogant side of my life is over, but to be honest, I never played a game in my life where I felt like I didn't, go all out in that battle or whoever I was battling. I think my legacy started from me playing NBA players in Rucker Park. The Allen Iverson challenge was just because I admired him. And I challenged him because I remember him saying when he seen Michael Jordan, he knew Michael Jordan was his one of his best, his favorite player, and he said he wanted to challenge him. So Iverson was my favorite player. I took his advice and challenged him, and we ended up being real good friends even to this day. He's one of my good friends, and yeah, there's been so many different scenarios and occasions where I've ran into great competition all over the world. I mean, I'm playing against NBA players, Kobe Bryant. I played against all these different players, from Steve Francis. My personal friends are in the NBA, Karl Towns, and I got guys that are well established in the league like Shaquille O'Neal, and those guys that are real good friends of mine. So my mindset has always been to push myself to the limit. But to answer your question, I don't think that I've ever played a game that I didn't like. How about that?
Confident.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there anything else, I guess, you'd like to say about basketball? Or even about your faith?
Yeah, I want to say two things. First of all, I want to say basketball, when you're passionate about basketball, you must make sure that your spirit is intact with what you want to actually do with the sport. A lot of people aspire to be pro athletes, but they don't know what it means to be a pro athlete, if you can get my drift on that. So I think that just being in Guam, I'm giving them the opportunity to see. I put the kids through a actual pro workout, and they, some of their parents are like, man, my son, his arms are sore, and I say, hey, you gotta, in order for you to be a professional, you're an athlete. Professional athlete means body, mind, spirit. Spirit is questionable, but the greats practice in Zen for their spirits. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, those guys are super spiritually inclined to push their agenda, and it keeps them working, keeps them motivated. And so on that note, I want to make sure the kids know that if you want to be a professional, you got to do what the professionals do, and I'm here to help you do that. And then also, once again, I want to thank the Hyatt Guam, the Hyatt Regency Guam. I just can't believe that I get to wake up and look at the beach every morning. They've shown me nothing but hospitality. They take care of me all the way around the board. It's just, the food is incredible. The island is beautiful. Guamanian people are just some of the best people I've ever been around. And I'm super excited to come back. And always remember, put God first.
So if you you chose your own name, and it wasn't Bone Collector, what would it be?
That's a tough question. I never thought about that. Let me see. If I chose my own name, what would it be? That's tough. I would have to say somewhere along the. You know what? I can't even say that because I think my name actually fits. And if I was to give myself a name, it would be doing a discredit to what I've been accustomed to. But it would definitely be something along the lines of people getting their ankles broken somehow.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I saw the video with the kids. Even my son, he was like, "Mom, you missed me." I was like, "Oh, I just went to take a break." But when he was watching, and when you were first giving the examples, he turned and looked at me. He's like, "Mom, this is impossible."
And that's that's another thing. When you push your child, I have children, so
yeah.
My oldest son, he's never had lower than a B grade for his school and his scholastics. And what I used to do is push him. I'd give him things that I knew he couldn't read. I'd give him the dictionary when he was 6 years old and say, "Hey, read a page a day.
Yeah.
Wherever you get stuck at, you let me know and we'll work on it together." And with that in mind, when I challenge these kids to do the drills that I actually work on, it in the back of their mind, they're like, "Man, I can't wait to figure that out." And when you're in school, you figure out a question, you work on it, and when you finally figure out the answer, you feel relieved. And that's what I want these kids to get here. When they figure out exactly what I'm showing them, they're going to be relieved because they'll have tools and weapons to help them in the sport of basketball. Just like my son developed tools to help him in the scholastic life. Yeah.
And you're right, because the drills, the pass is like pass, bounce,
that's
pass. And
the hardest drill ever. People think it's easy. It sounds simple. Your job is to pass the ball or bounce the ball, but there's a sequence that you have to do it in. And because I explained to the kids, like, "Hey, we're gonna do this simple drill passing." They were like, "Oh man, that's gonna be easy." We were there for 40 minutes.
And then the push-ups when they
and then the push-ups combined, And so there's a mental lapse that comes along with all children to get distracted very easily. I was a kid, I know how it goes. But the more you instill in them, and that's the reason why I want to be here, because the more and more I come, the more things that I can show them in a way they can learn more. And the kids love me here, so it's just a no-brainer for me.
They do. My son's like, "You're gonna go interview Bone Collector?" Yeah, you gotta go to school.
What's up? Shout out to her son. What's his name?
Brock.
Shout out to Brock, man. Appreciate the love and support, and hopefully I'll see you soon. I actually will see you soon.
All right, I think we are done with the interview. Is there anything, any final thing you'd like to say at the end of this show?
I just want to say thank you guys for having me. Thank you to your show for putting me on and letting me express how I feel. And hopefully I'm looking forward to doing more things here. And hopefully I'm looking for a great way to be an ambassador. That is a hard and big responsibility, but I'm ready. I think I'm ready to do it. And I've been grooming myself my whole life to do things like this. And I'm super excited to have the opportunity to do it with you guys. And God bless.
Bye.